Good evening. My name is Mike Wilson. I'm the founder and co-owner of Andesite Blue, and we're glad you can come tonight again this evening. And we're going to have a special night with a guest that I have that is with another charity fund. He's specifically for children. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We are brought to you by Toloka Studios and Productions. So, we're in the middle of a war, and we're going to continue this programs each week just to kind of bring you updates of what is going on here in Ukraine. We have a lot of Ukrainians that also have gone outside of the country, and they kind of want a feel of what's going on in their back home as well. Many people have left are wanting to come back home, and Kiev has been relatively quiet. We do get a few sirens that are going off in the daytime and in the middle of the night, but really not much. There was no activity. There was no missile strikes, no bombs that went off. So it's been very peaceful and very quiet. You can see people in the streets that are just kind of calm a little bit, but the war is still raging on. It's still, Kharkiv is being continually pummeled with missiles, cruise missiles, missiles from Russia, missiles from Belarus that are coming in. Also down in the Donbass with Luhansk and Donetsk. Then, of course, we all know what's going on in Mariupol. Just the city's been leveled. Unfortunately, civilians and innocent people have just died left and right. Children are injured. Children are killed. Everywhere Russia puts its finger, it's just been destruction, and they have no respect for life. They have no respect for people in general. They just do their thing, and they take their orders, and they do the atrocities that is really heartbreaking. And for me, it just makes me angry, especially as a military man. I just want to go, clean house. But anyway, I do bring to you a guest, Volodymyr. He is a part of a charity fund. He actually is the founder and organized a charity fund called Future of Child. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you to Volodymyr.
Hello to all.
So
Hello,
welcome,
Michael.
welcome to our to the show. And I'm looking forward to just spending some time talking with you. But if you just take a moment and tell us a little bit about you. Tell us why you started the fund and what you do professionally.
Thank you, Michael, for your invitation.
Yes.
And I would like ask sorry for my English skill because I only try learn that beautiful language. Sorry. So I take with me my little bit paper.
Not a problem.
I will look at a little bit.
Sure.
Sorry for it.
Well, your English is good, so you can kind of relax, and I understand you perfectly. And
Thank you.
But and I know our guests do too, because we have a lot of Ukrainians on there that go through the same struggles, and they feel the same way.
Yeah.
So I understand the pressure. But go ahead. Just.
Thank you. So idea set up our fund was born 8 years ago.
Oh, 8 years ago. Okay.
8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say that I graduated the university named Taras Shevchenko in Kiev here.
Taras Shevchenko, okay.
Yeah. Later, and I got the diploma Master Law International. And later I got degree of PhD.
Okay.
And I was invited to lecture in university.
Oh, okay, very good. Now, you got your
Yeah.
PhD in what area?
Philosophy.
Philosophy. So
Yes.
you're a philosopher.
No, it's like candidate for juridical science.
Okay. All right, very good.
And my specialize it's field of law.
Okay, so
Yes.
so you are a lawyer then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was invited to lecture in university,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked a lot with students.
Ah, okay.
I worked a lot of students, and I think, and I saw a lot of problem in
So-
that field,
Oh.
education. So I thought about I thought to create organization and something do with the field of education for children.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense now. Now, you said 8 years, which would put us in 2014, but I believe that you actually formed the foundation in 2013.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so before any war broke out, you had already started the foundation,
Yeah.
and it was geared to helping children
Yeah.
in the education in the
Yeah.
arena. Okay.
Yeah. I attempted. I would like attempt our children
Mhm.
get the education. So and I decided to set up the fund.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about how I can give name
Ah,
our
okay.
organization.
Yes,
I
yes.
thought about it a lot of.
Yes, I'm sure.
And one time I read the book biography of Immanuel Kant,
Okay.
and I remember the words of Immanuel Kant
Mhm.
by Immanuel
Mhm.
Kant.
Mhm.
The next words: raising the children, you should remember that you rise not for life in the now,
Now, you're
in
you're
the
raising
present
you're
time,
raising the children.
but for life in future.
Yes. Okay.
And future and better future
Okay.
state,
Mhm,
better
mhm.
state of humankind, and that is for life. That is for life in other life, in future.
Correct. Correct.
Yes. So rising rising our
So the raising of children.
raising. So
Yes. No, that's okay. It's
raising,
okay.
raising our children. You improve our future. You improve
Absolutely.
our world, the future of our world.
Very good.
Yes,
So that's what the name. So the name, the full
and
name of it
so-
is.
And we decided. Our fund give the name of our fund like future of child.
Okay. Very
Child,
good.
because why one child? Because parent have one child or two child,
Mm-hmm.
but all parent, of course, have children.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So meaning this idea is more deeply a little bit philosophy.
Okay.
Future,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
future of our not only family, but the future of our country,
Mm-hmm.
a future of all the world, and child, because children a lot of.
So child meaning focusing. You're really giving attention to that. One person instead of just an overall spread
Yeah.
of group. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good.
So
Can I ask you? Do you have any children?
now I am planning.
Okay. Very good. Very good. It's never too late.
But I know you have.
Yes. Well, it's never too late. I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not young, so you can still have 6 children. So, it's never too late. You're young anyway, so.
I would like to have. So I am planning and I am working about it.
Very good.
concerning it.
Good. Very good. Your wife is ready to have a child.
Not we just have not child, but we
No, I
are
mean
planning.
she's ready though. She wants.
Yes, she is ready. Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, your fund, deals with, like I said, child, or and your fund, you raise the money up so that you can affect, many children,
Mhm.
many childs, and their lives, and of course families. But once you become a father yourself,
Mhm.
it's going to take a whole new meaning for you.
Mhm.
You are going to feel, you're going to experience, and it's going to be a very, very personal. I know it's very personal with you now. It's a heartfelt thing.
Yeah.
But it's something different when you actually have the child.
Yeah.
And so I will, I said blessings on you and your wife,
you.
that your child will
Thank you.
come in time,
Thank you.
and you guys can enjoy that experience, and then your Future of Child Foundation is just going to have a whole new feeling and meaning to you. So I look forward to that day when that happens.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the foundation, because you started it before war in 2013. So your intention was for education, but now we had war in 2014, and we've been in war since then. But with the invasion back in the full invasion back in February of this year, that displaced families all over Ukraine. Millions and millions and millions of families. The new update on the numbers that have left is over 4 million now. Mm-hmm. Over 4 million mothers and children have left Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And I have hundreds and maybe even 1,000 of those friends that have left, and most of them want to come back. Now, some of them won't. Some of them will stay. They're going to be happy where they're at. It's a new life. They're afraid, because anything can happen. I mean, we got a maniac, over in Russia that just can do anything that he wants and doesn't seem to have any punishment whatsoever for his actions. And so they're afraid, and I understand that fear. I understand being afraid. I mean, my daughter is Ukrainian and she lives in Obolon. And when I took my daughter and her mom out of Obolon, we were under fire. There was bullets flying around and bombs were going off when I pulled them out. So once I got them safe, it was more comfortable for me to come back to Kiev. Mm-hmm. Because now I don't have to worry about my child. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now I can focus on the things and help, and how I can be a part of the effort to help those families and also to help our military. So tell me, what do you do? What does the fund do?
Yeah, Russian invasion of Ukraine has displaced approximately 6.5 million. Mm-hmm. And put in dire need of humanitarian assistance.
Yes.
So it's now in our country, in Ukraine, it's very, very big problem, and we have really a humanitarian crisis, especially in the area that was liberated our Ukrainian military forces. Mm-hmm. So we work all time. Our fund works all time, and now we attempt to work with the people who live in the territory liberated our military
so like
forces.
Chernihiv and places in the little villages around Chernihiv.
Like for example, it's Irpin, it's Bucha, it's Chernigov region, and generally actually Kiev region too.
And you said
Suma
you
region,
right? Suma, so Suma, and you mentioned Kharkiv.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I must say that. The situation is horrible really in that territory. When we delivered the humanitarian items to that people, I saw that moment, for example, when the people got our humanitarian aid. I saw that people was ready to fight each with other for that humanitarian aid. Understand? Can you imagine it? It's terrible.
Wow.
So it's really humanitarian crisis, and we must do something. And so we collected the humanitarian aid, and we try collect it and deliver humanitarian aid. But we work 1 month, 2 months, and we spend a lot of money for transportation, for collecting
I was going to, I was going to say
clothes.
something about that. The food prices have gone up,
Yeah,
and the gas,
especially in
the
that
gas
time
is
now.
more than doubled.
Yeah.
The gas prices have more than doubled. We've lost some of our gas and oil reserves because of Russia had bombed them or set them on fire, so they burned up some of those refinery tanks and some of those resources. Kiev is in a crisis of gas right now, and it's the largest city in Ukraine. There's long lines to the gas station, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get gas right now. So it's not easy to get gas
really
in Kiev. Yeah, but the prices have gone up a lot. So now it costs more to be able to transport these aids. You got to go to Lviv. You got to go back west to bring it, to pick it up and then bring them back here, And so we're talking, like 15,000 hryvnia, which is about $400, about $300 to $400, just to fill up the tanks to get them here to Kiev. So there's a lot of expense that goes behind the scenes, and then we have to buy the food. We have a little bit of a shortage. We're not short on food in itself, but we're short on items. Certain items we don't get, and certain fresh foods we're not getting really well. And so everything's limited and stuff like that, So just the work that takes place to put all this together and the money to be able to purchase the needed items to bring it in, and then you can go and deliver it to these places that need it. I know there's other organizations and NGOs that are doing this as well. When we talked the first time we met, I mentioned Yarmiz, and I had them as a guest on here to the show, and I volunteer and I support with them. Now with the Future of Child, I'm very happy to support and be a part of your organization.
Yeah, thank you.
So that we can raise the money and then get it to directly, The neat thing about these organizations that I work with is that I work directly with them, and so when the funds come into our charity, which is Andesite Care, that immediately, it's 2 seconds. I can transfer that in from our account to over to Volodymyr's fund, over to Yarmiz's fund, and these places that are actually working hard to get it in. He needs vehicles. He's got some vehicles, but he needs fuel. He needs more vehicles to be able to support and to provide for these families. What you said, I live here in Kyiv, so I don't get a chance to be in the villages to see how bad it is. But when you said that the people are almost fighting for the food,
Yeah, it's horrible. I saw it, and I saw it with. I felt pain in my heart. It's the situation is changed now. Really, we have the humanitarian crisis, and it's not simple to collect the humanitarian aid.
No,
It's not simple, and it's more problem is delivering. It's more problem now because
yes,
road, when our military forces liberated our territory, there are a lot of military mines.
That's right.
There are a lot
Russia
of
had left a lot.
bombs.
Yeah, so you cannot just drive safely.
Yeah, can you imagine, for example, people live 2 months without water, without
Yes, yeah.
without electricity even. It's, for example, town supplying water was cut off.
The water supply. Yes, yes.
It's very.
And without electricity, they can't pump the water.
Yeah.
So everything goes down without electricity. And there's a lot of these cities without electricity.
Yeah.
These little villages without electricity, and that's one of the crises is starvation and dying of thirst. And that is just tragedy, and to the greatest degree. I mean, I can't stress enough Putin's little false idealism of why he's coming in to save the people of Ukraine when he's actually came in bloodthirsty to destroy, because he has an absolute hatred for Ukrainians. He has displayed his hatred. He has spoken about his hatred. He hates Ukrainians. And so now he's shown it by giving orders, carte blanche orders to shoot and kill civilians, you know, and bomb them in theaters, you know, with 1,000 people that are buried in a theater.
Yes,
So
it's terrible. And we attempt to work like on the ground. So that is, we go to the people in the village, and not far from, for example, city, town, or different village, because you know it's a little bit problem reach that village.
yeah.
So it's a little bit problem, and but we try deliver the humanitarian items to that people, because I know that people need it.
Yes.
And the people in dire need. It's really, and yesterday, time 4 days ago, I spoke with my friend, and
Yes.
she said me that home when she live all time is destroyed completely. So it's can you imagine? People need to need home. So it's
that's going to be quite a rebuild, you know, when the war is over and the smoke settles, you know, I would say the dust settles and the smoke clears. There's a lot of rebuilding that's going to take place. There's a lot of temporary shelters that'll go up to house a lot of these families that have no more homes and apartments, and it's going to take some time to get that done. It's been since the last time something like this has ever happened to Europe was World War II. And in Western Europe, excuse me, when and Germany, which was divided between East and West, but France, even the UK, when those cities were bombed, London, those cities were bombed. I mean, there was the buildings were just collapsed. There was no homes. But if you look at it today, you know, it didn't take them 20 years to rebuild it. They rebuilt so quickly, and if you look at the history of that, people came in there. But Germany, especially with Germany, but many of these countries had to receive, after the war was done, war was over. There was not another bullet fired. The war was completely ended in 1945. And, you know, there was huge shipments, airplanes and ships, and bringing all kinds of food to support whole countries during World War II, because there was no food. The food rations back then in World War II, the children got 2 potatoes, the parents got 1 potato type thing. You know, it was they got just enough to sustain life until people can get back on their feet and the country can get back on its feet and start producing food again, start, you know, having crops and agriculture and, you know, and the economy going back, you know. But there was constant shipment. You know, the United States got in there, all countries. It wasn't just the U.S. It was countries that had the ability to ship in these food for Europe to help them, because it was a crisis. It was a crisis after the war.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to feed now, because people won't live. People will not survive if they don't get food and water.
You are right. Really survive. So you're right.
And it is right now. It is just getting them to sustenance, because we have to give so many people this. I mean, we're talking millions of people need food right now, and water.
Yeah.
Water is very, very important. I mean, we need to just truckloads of water we need to bring in. But when the war is over, and I hope that it's going to be soon, but when the war is over, the aid still needs to continue until Ukraine can rebuild and restructure, and, you know, and people can get back into their homes, and people can work and supply and provide for their families. Ukrainians are not lazy; they work hard, and so this country will rebuild quickly.
I hope very much for it.
Yes.
I hope, because, you know, firstly, we was scared a lot of all.
Yes.
And I stay Kiev all time.
The whole time, yes.
Yes. But now we are strong.
You mentioned that about the unity. you know.
Yeah.
That and that's really where the strength comes from, when everybody comes together, you know.
Yeah, we are together because of it. We are strong.
Yes, yes. Now we are brothers and sisters far deeper than we ever were before.
Yeah.
So that's good, and that's going to help the child.
Yeah.
That next generation will need to remember.
We will help
you know.
together.
Yes. Yeah.
So you will do it.
Absolutely, absolutely, we will. And again, I can't say enough how much I appreciate you, Volodymyr,
you.
for your fund, for your heart, for you know, the work that you're doing and involved, for staying in Kyiv, staying in the fight. You know, I mean, you're not holding a weapon, but your weapon is bigger. You know, and
Thank you.
helping life. You know, and sustaining and giving hope to the families and people around. So really. I'm thankful for your organization and for what you do. You know, as an owner of Andesite Blue, I also commit our fundraising to parts of that to be able to support and to give you the necessary funds that you need to continue to operate and to help as many Ukrainians as possible.
Yeah.
So
We need it very much because, for example, for today, at that moment, we have already collected the humanitarian items, for example, hygiene products,
okay,
food, medicine, some medicine, and these humanitarian items is located one part in Poland and other part in Lviv, and we need now financial support for deliver this humanitarian aid to people, to region, Chernigov region, some villages not far from Chernigov, to some hospital located in Kharkov city, and we are planning to deliver part of that humanitarian aids to Irpin and Bucha too. So we need very much financial support now.
Right this moment.
Yes.
Right now. And you know,
yes.
that's exactly right. Right now is when we need to do this. And you know, it's as simple as this.
Yeah.
You know, if 1,000 people give $20, that's $20,000 that we raised. You need $400 or $500 for fuel. You already have the supplies there.
Rent trucks.
Yes, exactly. So and so $20,000 can really go a long way.
Yeah.
But you know, when you think $20, it's not much. You know, and so you know, it's just something that we ask that you really take this into heart and to give today, so that we can get this out there. The supplies are in Poland, the supplies are in Lviv, but we need to get the fuel, and we need to fuel the trucks up and get them over here. And let's bring that in. Let's put your donations in of $20, and that you'll see how far that goes. And I will update regularly on those, you know, where it's going, how it's helping, and you know, and providing for families and stuff.
Yeah.
So we look forward to, you know, your photos when you're out there. I know you're also bringing smiles on families' faces too when you show up. You know, I mean, I know it's stressful, but just that sigh of relief that they get, that they can, you know, they're getting food. And so logistically, you know, I'm thankful for you, for Yarmys, for Caritas, and all of those organizations that are here in Ukraine. These are the ones that are working in Ukraine, the NGOs in Ukraine that are working. These are the ones that are doing the work. These are the ones that are on the ground. These are the ones where the women and the men are, you know, most of the men are actually fighting, and I'm training the civilian men how to be military men, so I'm working on training them to get them up to speed. But there's so many women's hands right now that are just involved and helping, and then, you know, it's good to see, but you know, everybody's putting their effort in, and so around the world, you know, I know that your hearts break when you see the news and when you see these things going on, and so your way of just providing something is just go onto our website. It's on the lower left-hand corner of the screen where it'll come up, Andesite Care. And so when you go to our webpage, on the charity page, it's very simple. PayPal, direct deposit, crypto, however you want to do it. $20 is all we need right now, and we'll be able to get that to you immediately.
Yeah, and we can deliver humanitarian aid. If we have money today, we will deliver it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how
But
effective. That's exactly.
The people need it very much.
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. So anyway, Volodymyr, I have a hard time with that name. I have no idea why, but Volodymyr is not easy for me to say because I think there's too many Vlads and Vladimirs and Vladislavs and stuff that I know. It kind of confuses me. But anyway, Volodymyr with Future of Child Foundation, and I'm happy to have you on, and I'm happy to work with you. So thank you for spending time with me this evening. I wish you all a good week. And really just we look forward to your donation. The ones you give today goes to Volodymyr. Will go to him this evening so that he can get these things going tomorrow. So thank you very much and have a good evening.